City of Alva tourism tax come to order, and the first thing is discussion and action on the minutes of the November 18th, 2020 meeting.
I move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
A motion and a second.
Charles? Melinda?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Norval?
Yes. All right.
Well, they're combined. The two are. I didn't fix it on the agenda. It's the ending of the December financial.
Okay, yes, the next is discussion action of the November and the December financial reports.
And then Angelica wanted me to say that she is researching about the audit that you asked her about
Okay,
and how that process goes.
you want to tell us about the
Oh, yes.
financials?
I can do that. Okay, starting off, we have $562,863.11, $150,000 for the Alva Arena Authority, $6,000 for the Alva Chamber of Commerce Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center, $1,500 for the Red Carpet Country 2021 Visitor's Guide, $3,000 to the Oklahoma State Parks and Outdoor Guide plus Discover Oklahoma Commercial, $31,350 for the Alva Bull Battle, $500 for future, $2,500 for standing, which leaves us with $368,213.11.
Can you tell me what happened to the Bank Central CD? For 107?
I can look into it. I can ask about it.
Yes. That amount is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in November it was 107,371.73.
I will not accept those minutes, so that
Yeah.
financial report, so
Yeah,
until I
I
have
think
an
we
answer.
cannot accept,
Okay.
that's my thought too, we can't accept the financial reports with that discrepancy in there. I don't think we have to have a motion not to approve it, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I will look into that.
Is that correct, Marion?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not approving the November or the December financial report. We go on from there. I do think that our correct amount is going to be around $669,000 in cash and CDs. All right. Well, we look forward to
Okay,
out about
I will
that?
find out.
All right. Which would raise that number available to about 475. All right. Next is discussion and action on the big cruise and car show, not to exceed $28,800. Tonight we get the two biggest tourism events in Alva, the rodeo and the car show in one evening for entertainment.
All right. I'm Joe Phillips, and David Ingram is back over there. We are the co-directors of the Big Cruise and Car Show, Bank Central Big Cruise and Car Show, and have been for about 5 or 6 years. And obviously, you know, we did not have it last year. We did come, and then we decided to postpone it or cancel it or whatever you want to call it for the year, which I think we made the right decision. Bringing as many people into Alva as what we thought we might bring in probably wouldn't have been a good deal at that time. Dennis Kilmer is also here. Dennis is our president, and our past presidents, Rhonda. They're all here with us tonight. This year, we hope, and I shouldn't say we hope, it will be, the biggest one we've ever had, and this will actually be our 21st. I don't know if you want, maybe just the 20th, since we didn't have ours last year, but 20th, 21st car show. We're, you know, last year I told you we were going to give away a 1980 Corvette. We still have that, and we are still planning on giving that away. That's not something that we're raffling off. We actually had a couple of donors that have donated that, and then the car club has actually spent a lot of money to get it fixed and in the right direction to give away as a good prize. So anyway, that's going to be kind of our big giveaway this year. As you all know, our car show is free. We don't charge for anything other than if you want to eat something, you can go to the vendors and get some food. But other than that, it's free. It's the largest free car show in the state of Oklahoma. It actually is 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and those dates are September 17th through the 19th. The 17th we usually start around 4:30, 5 o'clock and have a meal downtown, and then we have a cruise on the square, and then we actually go down to the boulevard and have a cruise. And this year we're going to make that cruise at the boulevard, at least our plan is right now, to make that cruise at the boulevard a lot larger. We're going to bring some bands in, kind of like we do in our cruise in July. So we're going to make that a little bit bigger. Hoping to get more people to come Friday night. One thing, as I was going over my notes today, I did notice, and I think this is kind of cool, that in 2019 we had 73% of the weekend show participants had already registered by 9 o'clock that evening. So I'm not saying all 73% of those were in Alva, but a large percentage of those were in Alva on Friday. So we feel like we need to give them something to do that night. So that's why we're going to have that cruise, and we'll have some food vendors downtown, some band, or not downtown, but on the boulevard, some bands and the such to make it, you know, a cool Friday night. Let's see. Our goal this year again is to get to 500. We've not ever got to 500. We've been at like 494, 478, but we've never been to 500. I think with us giving away that Corvette, I don't think 500 is going to be a big deal. I really believe, you know, if the weather's good and this COVID stuff settles down, I don't think 500 will be a big problem for us to reach that goal at all. And at this point in time, we already have more people that are pre-registered than we've ever had, which is kind of crazy. But there are lots of people that are starving for things to do, and so they're planning ahead. So our pre-registration is good. Let's see. some things that, what does Alva benefit from the car show? Obviously, it stimulates the spending in Alva. We give, what we give out for prizes for the most part is chamber bucks, and those chamber bucks have to be spent in Alva, Oklahoma. So those, and not everybody, I tell you, and I didn't even realize this, not everybody actually spends them that weekend. I had a phone call the other day about a guy that had won a prize, and he wanted to know if he could still spend his money, and that would have been from 2019. Because what he usually does is he waits till the next year, and then they have a big pizza party on that Friday night. So they don't always spend it right then and there, but they'll end up coming back and spending it sooner or later. And it's good for, I believe, a year. And I told him that we were going to extend that from 2019, so hopefully we can make that work. Otherwise, it's going to be about $60 out of my own pocket. So,
That's too bad, Joe. I'm pretty sure it's a...
well, it's a good friend of mine anyway, so it'll work. It'll work. Let's see. We are asking for $28,800, which is about 45% of the money that we project to spend. Believe it or not, we actually spend somewhere around $60,000, maybe give or take a couple $1,000. And last year, obviously, we did not use any of that. The year before, we still did not. If you go back and look, our total bill was not exactly what we asked for. And this is a little bit more than what we asked for in 2019. I don't remember the exact number, but it is a little bit more, not a tremendous amount. I think the main reason that we were asking a little bit more is because we're trying to make it, for our 20th year, a little bit more of a big bang, I guess to say. But there are lots of things that we spend money on, and you'd look at that and say $60,000, that is a lot of money, but we do a lot of events on that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some things, I just jotted down some things here. Entertainment, we're asking for $4,100. And I think if you went over here and saw, it was $10,000 that we actually spend, and that's probably not exactly correct either, because we do things like, we usually have a couple of 405 race car guys come in and bring their cars, and that's a big deal for car guys. We have a dyno, which we've not had in the last couple of years because we've had some problems with the dyno guy, but we're hoping to have our dyno again. Bands go in the entertainment, and we usually have a couple of like we had a drag race guy a couple of years ago. What was his name? Well, I can't remember. He's from around here. Had the big thing that was huge, loud.
Oh, yeah, he's from up at Azimuth and Williams' car from up at Great Bend.
Yeah. So, and those things do cost us money. I mean, they're not going to come here for free. And then we also had, last year we had Elvis scheduled to come. The Elvis impersonator is really, really super good. He, this would have been 18 and 19, he was second in the Elvis impersonation competition out of, I think it was if I remember right, it's in Minnesota. But anyway, very good. Those are just a few things that, of some entertainment that we're planning on doing. I actually thought about getting Garth Brooks, but after that, I don't know if we'd have enough money in security to get him to come around here. But anyway, our flyers is another expensive part of the money that we're requesting, but those, we actually have and we were actually going to change it this year, make it a little bit different format, but those cost us a lot of money. We're asking for $5,400 there. And chamber bucks on the prizes and drawings, where I don't know the exact number we give out, but we give out a lot of chamber buck money. So anyway, we're asking for $28,800. If anybody's got questions.
Just keep in mind, we gave a lot of money back last year.
Well, yeah, last year.
Without doing it, we gave a lot of money back.
Right.
You gave the money back, did you have some sponsorships last year?
We did actually have some expenses last year.
Did you give it back?
Well, we'd like to give them expenses back.
No, you're talking about, did we have sponsorship and did we give that money back?
Right. since you didn't have it?
Here's what we kind of talked about that at our meeting that we had when we decided to cancel it. And I think if I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think what we decided was, so we didn't actually get all of that sponsorship money, brought in, because we knew, obviously, we canceled it in like July, if I remember right. So we didn't get all that in, but we were going to either credit that for the next year or give it back, whichever way, that person wanted to do it.
On other car shows in the state that charge, that are not parade?
Oh, most of them charge.
Yeah.
Most everyone. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not sure of very many that don't charge something. And it's not a tremendous amount, but the thing about it is, when you go, I mean, I'm not one that goes to a car show every weekend, but a lot of those people do go, at least once a month or twice a month. And if it's only $25, $40, I know it's not that big a deal, but once you do that, 20 times throughout the year, it adds up. So ours, and not only is it the largest free, but we do a lot of activities that no one else does anymore, like the drag races that we have, the burnouts, and then we have, not only do we have things for adults, but we also have a lot of things for children. We have bicycle races, we have a pageant that we have, a Little Miss Cruising Car Show, we have jump houses or whatever you want to call those things set up downtown, and we give away a lot of things to little kids. We order every year. We order those glow sticks and little things like that we actually walk around and give to children that are at the car show.
That's part of what drives everybody to this car show too, is because it's free. You've got a lot of clubs out of Wichita that come to this every year because it's a free car show. So we've got a lot of people that come back and spend time in the motels and eat here and shop here, just for the fact it is a free car show.
Joe, to add to your deal, I don't know of any other free car shows in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, it's a unique, there's a big one in Kansas and where the idea sort of came from, and that's the only other one I know.
Yeah, I didn't know of any either, but I know that it seems like every time that I end up wanting to go, and $30, $40 shouldn't hold you back, but I kind of like it simply because I have more than one car, so it doesn't cost me to enter mine here in Alva.
Well, if you look at Wichita, they have, on any given weekend in the summer, there's 5 car shows there, so
right.
Something you have to be somewhat different to make those guys drive to Alva, Oklahoma.
Well, and we give away a trophy every year to a club that's brought them, because in our enrollment, in our registration, there's a question about what club do you belong to, and so we give away a trophy for the club that brings the most entrants, and I think in the 6 years that we've done it, it's been a club from Wichita every single time. The good thing about that is those people, and I think every time that we gave it to them, we give like maybe $100 in chamber bucks, something like that to them, and they almost always give it back for something in Alva, whether it be the food bank or whatever it might be, which I think is cool. Car clubs, the thing about the car show, there are a wide variety of people. There are a lot of people, to be honest with you, in that 50 to 70 age group. Probably most of those people that bring cars are in that 50 to 70 age group. And there's a lot of them that are 20 years old that like to go real fast too.
I move we accept the request for $28,800.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second.
Harry?
Aye.
Melinda? Charles?
Aye.
Norm?
All right.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for so much work that you do on this.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Next is discussion action on Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise, not to exceed $7,150.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Kilmer. I'm here representing the Race Car Club. And tonight we are asking for some financial assistance for the cruise that we put on. It is July 17th. We have a nostalgia-style cruise night, and we're also going to include like a smaller car show in with that. We did that this last year, and they had it the morning of the Crazy Days downtown. We are going to move that and actually do that in the evening this year in hopes to keep people here a little bit longer. The people that want to bring their cars to show them, maybe not necessarily want to cruise, but they can set up on the boulevard, hopefully bring them in and keep them here longer. Let's see. Last year for the cruise, the estimate, our estimate was $2,500 that we brought in. We're bringing those in from Alva and surrounding communities. We had people here from Hutchinson, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and we're hoping to draw more than that this year and from further away. Let's see here. We are asking for $7,150. That's a little bit more than what we asked for last year, and we're hoping that will help with some more advertising, print, radio, flyers, mailings, social media, and so that we can try to draw some more people in.
That also pays for bands and...
Yes. We are hoping to have four bands this year set up on the boulevard at different places. Last year I think we had 3 of them, and so we're hoping to have 4 this year. Spread them out a little bit. We've got quite a few people that show up for that. So I think it's a good thing. We enjoy putting it on, and we're hoping that we can grow it. Enid has one that they put on, and it's a 2-day event now, and so we're hoping that we can eventually turn this into, instead of just one evening event, maybe a 2-day event, grow it so we can get it a little bit bigger. Anybody have any questions?
How does the car show tie into the cruise? You said it's like a mini car show, or is it just like, people just see the cars and so that's...
Just like the big car show that we put on, just kind of...
I think she's asking about the car show that you're going to have on cruise night.
Says it's the second year to have a car show at this event. And it's planned during the evening.
I can kind of speak to that because I
Okay.
help with this cruise a lot. The plan is to have a car show and have it start earlier and also extend the cruise later to keep that whole people in town and hopefully at a hotel that evening. It will go on so long that people will stay over. And so it's just another element, and it's kind of what Enid did. They had their cruise, and then they started a car show on the same night as their cruise, and then everything got crazy enough that they just expanded to another night and had 2 cruises and a car show. So.
And we're actually hoping that will allow us to get more people to come for that car show part 2. Last year I think we had around 30 that morning, and it was like at 10 o'clock in the morning. And
On Friday, like Friday morning.
well, I think it's Saturday morning. Yeah, because it's the same day as Crazy Days.
Okay, yes.
And it did
yes.
allow more people to come for Crazy Days, but we're hoping that by doing it in the evening and combining them both together, we will, get more people. And like Norval said too, Most likely, they're here till 10 o'clock at night. With a car like they're gonna bring in, they're probably gonna stay all night.
And if they're here earlier in the evening, they may come and have dinner beforehand. So it kind of gets them into town.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Kilmer? I know he was looking forward to standing up here and having a grill on.
The question I have is, it just seems like a lot of money for 3 hours. You know, what you say is from 7:30 to 10:30 is what you printed. But it sounds like you're gonna have more than that maybe. But just in comparison to the car show, asking for 28, so we're asking 4 times, just 4 times. My question, I guess, is, do we have 1/4 of the hotel occupancy from this that we do from the car show? Just a guesstimation, estimation.
It's hard to guess with the car show, I mean, with the cruise, how many's here. But we are working on building it to fill those motels is what our endless hope is with the cruise. But as far as the number on how many is out of town, of that 2,500 last year, I would love to be able to put a number to it. But I know we did have quite a few from out of town that did stay, but hopefully down the road with this building, that we've got all the motels full again, is our end result of what we're hoping to do over time. Yes, we understand that this time it's costing us more money up front to get up the entertainment, and part of the car show is part of growing it too, because the car show brings in people, the people stay, people eat, people stay in the motels, so hopefully it builds where we're filling the motels is our ultimate hope of it. I understand your question on it, but we've got to build it to a certain point before we can kind of find that break-even point with us.
So we get 4,500 last summer, is that what we gave? Do you know? It says 3,545, but it doesn't say when. And I can look it up, I guess. What's that, June, July? There's the 2 cool for screw. 150. $37.50. $37.50 is what we gave from last time. No, that was 2018. Okay.
It looks like 4,500 maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's on page 4 of the July financial report.
Okay. I would be more comfortable with an amount around 4,500, just because I just would at this time.
Would you like to make that into a motion?
I would like to make that into a motion. I move that we approve $4,500 for the summer Crazy Days cruise and car show. What is that? Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second.
Charles?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is discussion action on the 2021 NWOSU Ranger Rodeo, not to exceed $15,000.
Hello again, and I'm Stockton Graves, and I'm here representing Northwestern Oklahoma State Rodeo Team for the 2021 Ranger Rodeo. Guys, this year the Ranger Rodeo will be held February 18th, 19th, and 20th. We're still going to have a 3-day event. This rodeo will be the first of 9 rodeos this spring. So we're finally going to get to have a season. Ours got canceled last year. The season did. And then our rodeo in November obviously got postponed to February, but thank goodness we're getting to go now. So we're all real happy about that. We had one canceled this spring, and we believe that the way the coaches meeting the other day, the other 9 are good to go. So I'm glad we are the first rodeo. I think that our numbers as far as contestants will be up because we didn't get a season last spring, and we didn't get another season this fall. So the eligibility and everything like that is good. It's actually pretty hard to be ineligible right now since we didn't finish the season. We haven't started the new season. So I think our numbers will be even greater as far as contestants this year than they have in the past. I think that I've asked the coaches in our meetings what their teams look like. So far, everybody's a little bit larger than they have been. So that's a good thing. We haven't had any seasons, so it's a positive note for college rodeo. So, guys, there was talk about, obviously, in the deal, we decided to go with no fans, okay, since we're inside and the COVID-19 rules and everything like that. So that did, it did change our request our request. So what we've done to make up for, I just took the gate money completely out because we're not going to have any fans. So the only ones going to be allowed in are contestants, okay, and stock contractors, people working the rodeo, coaches, stuff like that. So unfortunately, we're not going to have any fans. As of now, I don't think anything's going to change in a month here, but we're just going to plan on that. So what we did, we took some of the extras that we do for the rodeo and costs out, like the special events prize money, which is the matches that we do in the short rounds and stuff like that. We took out the advertising. We'll still do the social media advertising, the free stuff, everything like that. But as far as like the ads in the papers and the radios and everything like that, felt like we really didn't need to do that because we're not going to have any fans. And then we just took away the awards. Once again, I asked the coaches and to ask their kids, and they really didn't mind it. They just wanted to have a rodeo. So they were pretty good with everything. Okay. So what we've done is, that was a discussion among the coaches and they just kind of give us our free reign on how we want to run our rodeo. So without any fans, common sense tells you, well, you don't need any performances or anything like that, like our Thursday night. So I kind of thought, well, I really wanted to keep the performances, even though we don't have any fans, but I wanted people coming in and staying for 3 nights, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, okay? So what I did was, which made it easier on us, so our Thursday night performance, it'll just be, students, but we will be rough stock, bulls, broncs, barebacks, and barrel racing. And we'll do that, and then the Friday morning slack will be all timed events, like your calf rope and breakaway, steer wrestling. And then Friday night, we'll go back with the second round of the bulls and the broncs and the barrel racing. And then Saturday morning, we'll have the big slack. And then Saturday night, we'll run a short round just like we would any other performance with every event, okay? I thought we might try to keep it for the student athletes more like a rodeo scenario, okay? Instead of just throwing everybody into one big slack and saying, here, everybody come just one day and run your steer, or run your calf, or ride your bronc and go home. So I thought we could keep everybody in town for 3 days that way, okay, and have a regular short round on Saturday night, all right? So obviously, the no fans. On the entries, we've written the COVID rules Everybody's gonna be required to wear a mask inside, unless you are competing, and obviously you can't wear a mask. You'll be required to socially distance. If you are in the stands, the students have to have their vests on, which we all wear a vest. I don't know if that represents our school logo on the back, and that's kind of how you tell who's entered and who's not. So I made it kind of a rule they had to have their vest on, and if they didn't have their vest on, we would assume they're not entered, and then we would take actions against that, okay? And there's fines up to that, which go to the region, they don't go to school or anything like that, but that's kind of the scenario of Northwestern Oklahoma State Ranger Rodeo 2021 COVID-19. But doesn't matter that we're just happy to have a rodeo and have a season. So we're asking for the same as last year and the years past, the $15,000 to pay for the stock contractor. That's where that cost isn't going to fluctuate down any if the numbers like we predict are going to go up. Obviously the numbers go up, the more stock you have to bring, the more it costs. So, but we feel like with our ad sales, everything we've done, we're going to be okay, as far as that goes. But we're just requesting the $15,000 that we request the last 5 or 6 years to help us with our rodeo. So I think.
Talk about the program and live stream.
Yep. So that's what we've done on the ad sales. I was going to get to that. So what we've done, we're going to live stream the rodeo because we know we have our banners and stuff because we have to have the ad sales. So we'll live stream the rodeo so that way people will be able to watch it, family, ad set, everybody that donated and helped with the rodeo. Then we'll go ahead and make the program, okay, and it will be virtually on that live stream online. So you can actually look at the program. If you did buy an ad, you can see your ad in the program online. Because I feel like that was the big question was, we're buying an ad, we're doing this, but there's no fans, no one's going to see our ad. So we're doing the best we can by the live streaming and the virtual ad online to help our ad sales campaign. The rodeo itself, I know, the fans, we're not going to have them, but I feel like the hotels, everything's still going to benefit with all the students coming in, okay? And I'm not saying their parents are not going to come because a lot of them are, but there will be some that deter because they can't obviously come inside. But if they can watch it on live stream, I still think there'll be some parents come, okay? But the thing about being February is chances are probably going to be pretty cold, so we're preparing for that. So I feel like a lot of kids maybe don't stay in their trailers. If it's really cold, they would definitely get a hotel room, I don't know why. But I've stayed in a few of them cold trailers. Them hotel rooms are pretty nice, right? That hot water is pretty nice. I still think the restaurants, the gas stations, the hotels are still all going to benefit, pretty close to the same as they have in years past. Like I said, it's unfortunate we didn't want to do it without fans, but we feel like being enclosed, being inside, we just don't want, anything bad to happen, and we try to minimize our risk and go forward with the season. So I think I covered most of it, but I'm sure you guys got some questions. I hope I can answer.
So does your gate money typically cover these three things that you have?
Yep, it pretty much right there. Yep, that's what I looked at, and it was pretty much right there even with it. And I just kind of took it out, watched the numbers go, as that, and it's pretty much that's where I kind of tried to figure that out.
Is the announcer? It would seem to me that that's not something that could almost.
Right, and I thought about that, but then there's right. So you think about the announcer, but it's not so much as the announcer, it is the equipment that he has. Like you still got to have speakers, you still got to have the buzzer and everything like the rough stock and stuff like that. So yeah, you're hiring the announcer, but you're also hiring his equipment to set up. And I was thinking, well, who could I get to do it? He's pretty cheap for us, does us a pretty good job. And that's what I was thinking, was like, how do I get somebody to do that, with all the equipment? And so I just kind of stuck with that because we don't have it, as far as the rodeo team and stuff. So I just kind of stay, I did look at that, honestly I did, but I still wanted to have some sort of an atmosphere for the contestants, you know, instead of just, hey, you're up, you know, your time, you know. So I did want to make it fun for them, because it's going to be like this probably throughout the year, you know, so it's going to get pretty stale and pretty bland, so maybe we can keep, you know, a little bit of the you know, rodeo alive, so.
So are any college universities having multiple rodeos?
No, not that I know of. We did open the floor up to anybody that wanted to pick up the K-State, the one that canceled, and we didn't have any takers, so, yeah, and that's our schedule, like, we're gonna go the 18th, and then there's 2 weeks off, and then we go to 9 in a row, and that finishes out the semester. So, or I'm sorry, 8 in a row, and that finishes out the semester. So that there's only about a 2-week period to have one, and that's the last weekend, February, first weekend in March. So it was going to be really tough for a new rodeo to be created within such a short time frame. So we decided that 9 was, we were plenty happy with 9. Yeah.
I move we accept the request for $15,000 Northwestern River.
We have a motion,
Second.
second.
Melinda,
Yes.
Terry,
Aye.
Charles, Norval.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you guys, appreciate it.
And last is remarks and inquiries by the Tourism Tax Committee. And I think our arena is still on, boiling on,
Moving along, I
moving
guess,
along.
at the same pace.
I understand it's going back for new bids, so it's going to happen in some form or the other, it looks like, yeah. Depending how the bids come in. So that's exciting, actually. That's exciting to see it move forward. It's very exciting. Anybody have anything else? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a motion.
Second.
We have a second.
Melinda, Charles, Norval,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
We're adjourning.